How you doing? My name is Joe Seif and I'm the proud owner of Pennridge Painting. On my way to go do some estimates. Got a little bit of extra time, so I thought I would take a minute to explain how the booking and estimate process works with our company. So the first thing you need to do to book an estimate is get a hold of us. You can call our number, Google us. You can go on our website. Our phone number's on the website. If you scroll down to the bottom of that first page, there is a link you can click to book an appointment there. You can send us a message on Facebook. You can text us if you rather text. So once you get a hold of us, the next step is getting you logged into our system. So we use a CRM, and what that does is it just kind of manages everything for us, keeps all of our customer information in one spot, makes things easy for everyone, including the customer. So you go on to there, either you call us or you log in, you get your appointment set up. The first thing you get back is a text message confirming the appointment. So you can read over that and make sure, okay, Tuesday, 8 a.m. or whatever you pick, that's good. Reply back, confirmed, you're good to go. Then that messaging system is going to send you a couple of reminders. Hey, we got an estimate coming up tomorrow at 8 a.m. and hey, there's an estimate coming up in an hour. So that way you don't forget. I've had that happen before. So then we're going to come out to your house. We're going to be on time or early. If we are going to be late, even by a few minutes, we'll reach out to you and let you know, hey, I'm running 5 minutes late. I hit a little construction jam here, something like that. So that way we're not wasting your time. Your time is very valuable, as is my time. Everybody's time is valuable, so we don't want to waste anybody's time. So that's why we like to be early. So when we get there, we'll spend a little bit of time introducing myself to you, getting to know you. We're going to talk about the project, what's motivating the project, what do you like and don't like about your current situation. And then for doing the estimates, we like to use a lot of industry standard stuff. There's a lot of painting companies that aren't professionalized, and part of my business model is to be professionalized. So I want to be the most professional painting company in the area. We want to do the best quality work. We want to have the best feedback from our customers. We want to give our customers the best customer experience. So coming up with our prices, we decided to use what they call production rate estimating. So rather than going into a room and saying, this will probably take 6 or 8 hours and use a couple gallons of paint, how about $1,000? That's not really fair. It's subject to interpretation. Sometimes people who do that, they might want a little bit more out of somebody to paint a bedroom if their house is a really nice house. They kind of inflate their prices, and so my neighbor got their bedroom painted for a lot less than me. Well, that shouldn't be. It should be fair. One of the things that can affect the price of your bedroom or your foyer or whatever is the damage to the walls. So part of our procedures is to repair all the damage to the wall. So if we go in your bedroom and there isn't any damage to the wall, then you just get the regular price, which is figured out by surface area. So it figures out how many square feet of wall there is to paint, how many square feet of ceiling, how many linear feet of trim, how many doors and windows, and it's going to charge you a set number on that. How do we come up with those numbers? We use this here. This is the National Painting Cost Estimator book, and in here it tells you how long it should take to paint each surface, and it tells you how much materials, how much setup time there is. So we log them into our CRM, which is also our estimating software. It's called Drip Jobs right here. So we just plug in the length, the width, and the height, and then we hit next. We plug in what we're going to paint. So we're going to paint the ceiling, the doors, the trim, the windows. Hit next. And now here it breaks everything down. So in this little room that I made up here, we got 120 square feet of ceilings, 352 square feet of walls, 44 feet of trim, 1 window and 1 door. So if there's no problems with the walls, this would just spit out a number for you. Let's see what that number would be. Right now we're having a sale, but this is the pre-sale price. So it'd be about $1,100, $1,200 to get that room painted if there's no repairs. Now, if we do have to do repairs, little nicks and dings and dents and a couple of nail pops, we don't charge for. So if that's what you got, you don't worry about a big repair bill. If you have a bunch of cracks, or we need to make a patch, that is extra. If you have wallpaper that needs to be removed, that is extra. So that can affect your price. So maybe your neighbor's house is identical to yours. Their bedroom was a lot more than your bedroom. It's probably because their bedroom had a bunch of cracks or stuff in it. So then once we figure that out, we'll go through your house, we'll measure all the rooms, we'll come up with all the numbers, then we'll sit down together, I'll explain to you my systems, I'll show you my insurance and explain to you that. I give everybody a little lesson in how to read a certificate of insurance, what to look for. One of the key takeaways is that workman's compensation insurance, that is a really big deal. Most people think that the general liability insurance is super important. Worst case scenario, a gallon of paint's going to go down on your carpet. We're going to need new carpet. Maybe that's $2 or $3 grand. Or, I mean, a ladder could go through a window or a sliding glass door. Maybe it goes through a sliding glass door. Maybe that's $10,000. Really, not really possible to do a whole lot more damage than that. So $1 million liability policy isn't that important. You really need like $50,000. We do carry $1 million. Some of our commercial clients require $1 million or $2 million, so we have $1 million plus we have $1 million umbrella policy. But the real protector of the homeowners is that workman's compensation insurance. So if you hire somebody who is improperly insuring their employees by not giving them workman's comp, that person falls and gets hurt. Maybe they fall off the scaffolding, they have a really bad fracture to their leg, or a rib pokes into their lung and they need a helicopter ride, then that $1 million worth of insurance is going to be effective. So that's an important thing to look for in that. And we have our standard pricing, so that's another great thing. A lot of the different companies, they have wild swings in their pricing, and we try not to do that. We try to be as fair as possible. So another part of our standardizing things is we are members of the Painting Contractors Association. So they've been around since the 1800s, over 140 years, and they're like the number one name in the painting industry as far as guidelines and advice and stipulations and different stuff like that. So we use their guidance for what determines a painted surface, what determines a flaw, and we also use their warranty as well. So it's not set by us, it's set by an industry leader, it's industry standard stuff, and we feel like that is a great way to make sure that everything is fair and correct. It's not up to the owner. You know, you might say, oh, this wall doesn't look right, and the owner might say, well, you know what, you paid me to change the color, the wall's a different color now, I don't care about that ding right there, just ignore it. You know, but we would say, well, you know, according to the guidelines here, since I can see that standing 4 feet away in normal light, that is a flaw, we would come out and fix it. So that's kind of where we are with that, to make sure that you get a uniform product. So that bedroom that your neighbor got, your bedroom's going to look just as good when it's done. Our goal with any room we paint, whether it's a 2-story foyer or a powder room, is to make that room look like it belongs in a Better Housekeeping magazine photo or an advertisement for good quality homes or paint jobs or walls. So we do really good work. One of the things that we do is we use a dustless sanding system from Festool. So the way the dustless sanding system from Festool works is it's kind of like a glorified shop vac. It hooks up to the sanders, it draws air in through the sanding pad, so that kind of pulls all the dust through. It runs it through a filter bag, which gets out kind of the bigger particulate material, and then it runs it through a HEPA filter, which really cleans that discharged air out and gets it, you know, cleaner than regular air. So that is a big deal for anybody who has a bunch of patchwork to do, to keep that out of their house. If you've ever had someone sand a big drywall patch by hand, the amount of dust that it generates is really mind-numbing, and that dust can hang in the air for 3 days, so it's going to be in your lungs. to be getting all over your house. It's going through your HVAC system. So the dustless system is a big deal in that sense. That's kind of all I got for you right now as far as setting up the estimate and going through the estimate. At the end of the estimate, you can accept the estimate there. You can sign on my little tablet here, and you can pay with a credit card. We waive the transaction fee for deposits. You can pay with a check as well. We do prefer checks. We take cash, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, checks, credit cards. There is a 3.1% fee for credit cards. So that is something we waive, again, for the deposit, but for the main job, if you're going to pay for that with a credit card, there is that credit card fee. I don't collect any of that money. 100% of that goes to the credit card agency. And that is, that's kind of the process. The next thing that would happen after that would be you would get a text message from us with a start date. We'd say, hey, we're going to start July 28th. We'll be there at 7 a.m. Let me have your paint colors. So then you send over your paint colors. We give you special help with a Sherwin-Williams color expert to make sure you pick out the right colors and sheens for your house. That's a free thing we offer. We have a chat and an email. We can do that. We also have in-person color matchings we can do, and color consultations through us. And we work with a couple of designers if you want someone who just does design work and not someone who also paints to do that. That is something that we can do as well.